Here we go again. Ash, sing me a song.
What do you wanna hear?
That will do beautifully. Ram, you recording any of this?
Hey.
Oh. I'm not. What's that sound? All the mammoths are in the ground. You seen Ice Age? No. In 2022, I'm going to get cancelled for this. Sometimes I wonder if I act a little bit feminine. I think I know because I've got so much hair.
Yeah.
And like the fucking size of me.
So what do? Do you play with your beard when you see a pretty girl?
No, I just do that in general.
Okay.
You called me out for that. I'm so self-conscious of it and I can't stop it.
Okay.
I started looking at stress balls to try and like, stop me from
Just
playing with my beard.
Everyone's got their own thing though. Everyone's got their own release.
No, like the way I cross my legs is a little like, you know, and I'm quite...
I think the fact that you notice it...
in general.
I think the fact that you notice it is fine. Like, that's fine.
Like, I don't change it.
Yeah,
I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we dive in?
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. Ram called me out because we didn't do an intro, so...
We did.
I thought we did. We kind of did. I watched the episode and we kind of did.
It was just a super long...
Huh? Was it not? Okay. Well, you cut it out? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's in there, but it's not like... It's not airtight.
Okay.
But anyway. Hi there, welcome to Director's Debrief, episode 44. 44.
Yeah.
We are so close to the 1 year mark. I've got some plans that I want Ram to cut together for the 52 episode. Even though I miscounted one and Ram didn't catch that one. So this is actually 43.
Right.
But the episode number has to be 44.
Because...
I think episode 29 is missing.
Otherwise we're repeating stuff. Well, what we can do is one day we can go back to episode 29.
Yeah.
Like a bit of a how far things have come.
Yeah. Have you seen how far things have come? I watched one of the earlier episodes the other day.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
It's a bit like our pitch decks, right?
Yeah.
Like the way in such, like since Ollie joined us and how much they've changed to when we presented clients.
It's actually crazy. Yeah. I also realized something else. I don't know if you noticed, Ram. I updated one of the thumbnails. I got some guy off of Fiverr to do it. And I've been looking at some of the titles of our podcast episodes and some of the descriptions. You know what I realized?
Yeah.
Ram, sorry, but I'm calling you out here, doesn't watch the episodes in the slightest. He has a formula for editing them. And I hate it, but I really respect it. It's very smart how he edits the cuts. And then secondly, all the descriptions are like, it's almost as if, you know... a news presenter has only read the headlines and is trying to give you the full story, is what I've noticed.
Right, okay, Just picks one thing out that he had.
And we should have a camera on Ram, but he's right there. And I think he just zones out, unless he hears his name.
I think he's zoned out right now.
He's zoned out right now. He's just there giggling.
He's like, yeah, I know, it's time to laugh.
Yeah. Is that the case? Like, when you're in here, for like, sometimes we're shooting for like an hour. Do you just like zone out? You do. I know.
What do you think about when you zone out?
Yeah.
It's healthy to zone out.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I saw a reel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know we said we'd dive in 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I saw a reel that was like this woman saying, "Oh my God, do you know that guys can just think about nothing?"
Yeah.
Blew my mind. I was like, girls can't?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, exactly. Blew my mind.
That is nuts. Yeah, I think, I've noticed that. Like, I'm very much a zoner outer. I don't know whether I am thinking about nothing. Yeah, sometimes, but just think about something else. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like when I'm driving long drives. I think about a lot of stuff. It's my thinking time. It's when I putter, as you would put it.
Yeah.
But there are parts of the journey where I don't even realize I'm driving. You know, like a good 40-minute segment of because I drive to Manchester all the time, so a good 40-minute segment. I think about nothing.
But that's good. When I say it's healthy, it's
like
heavenly. That is. No, because he's alert. He's aware.
Yeah, I'm not unconscious. Like I'm lucid.
Like say at the end of the day, people think meditation is like you sit in a room and you're like, like that, right? No, in essence, we are all meditating our own ways. Sometimes we give ourselves more drives or more shower times or whatever you do, and sometimes we don't. Yeah, and that's our own version of meditation because as humans, we need that own time. That time to be with ourselves, but still be aware. I think it's healthy. Like you need to be with yourself.
Do you meditate?
No, well, not actively, but I will putter.
Yeah.
So my puttering.
That's your act of meditation.
Yeah, every day. Like It calms me down. It gets me in the right headspace. I don't feel rushed. So for those that don't know, when I was saying to Sam the other day that I putter in the mornings.
Yes.
So as soon as I come into work, for all of us, it's very much go, 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 go. It doesn't stop, right?
100%.
Quick coffee break or whatever, but it's just go, go, go. We try and be as efficient and as optimal as we can.
Yeah.
So before that, in the mornings, yes, I take my time. Even my family joke about it. They're like, your showers are like twice as long as they need to be and so on. It's like, yeah, I probably could be a lot more efficient, to be honest. I could get ready in 15, 20 minutes if you needed me to. But I'll take my time. I'll do whatever I am because that's my puttering, my meditation time, if that sounds cool. Yeah. But do you find yourself doing that in the mornings? Do you have a routine?
I have a routine. But that's the thing. I found it interesting when you were talking about that because that seems to be your outlet of routinelessness. Or maybe puttering is part of the routine.
Yep.
I try to be as regimented in the morning as possible.
That's good.
Yeah. So within a set amount of time, usually about 5 minutes of waking up, I try and be in the shower because otherwise it's 2 hours on Instagram just not doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's a negative as well. That if you're not, it could either be puttering or it could be wasting time. So
but I putter a lot in the evenings because I realize I'm a morning person, so I have to I tailor my lifestyle to the kind of person I am, and I like to do stuff in the morning. I like, that's
certain routines and certain things. Yeah, cool.
I wanted to prepare a little something for this podcast. This podcast is about you. We've had 2 episodes on me. People are sick of it. Even the guy in Russia called, and he's just like, "Please, we'll stop invading Ukraine. Just stop talking about Sam. I'm done." That was a bit dark. That was a bit too far. Don't make a reel out of that. You can keep it in the episode, but don't make a reel out of that. But
at least you didn't do the Russian accent.
I know, I was kind of tempted, but it's just not that good.
On a bit, yeah.
This episode's all about you. I have some ideas, I have some plans, but I didn't get to actually sit down because I've been running around because Sam broke the
Sam broke.
Yeah, I nearly just that backfired. Ram broke the SD card. Yeah, he did. You're still liable for the thumbprint on the sensor though. Until
what that was on like half of our podcast.
Guilty until proven innocent. You're in my courtroom. That's how I rule with an iron
fist. Probably zoom into that thumbprint and figure out whose it was.
Do you know what?
That would put everything.
That would be insane.
Yeah. Ram, you better watch.
How are you going to justify to the team that we need to get everyone's thumbprint?
No, we just need one.
Oh, you just you just want to
just frame it.
Just want to convict Ram. But yeah, just because he broke the SD card, I had to run around town buying an SD card. I didn't have time to plan it. But again, whilst I was driving, puttering, meditating, I did come up with a couple of things.
All right.
And what I want to sort of chip away at, I kind of scared you of just like, I want to peel away all the layers and get to know the real you. I want to find points of relatability between you and the potential audience.
Okay.
And so I'm going to start off with this question. In all aspects of the term successful, do you consider yourself to be successful? No. Okay. What does successful look like, and where's the discrepancy between you and being successful?
Well, I think there's 2 arms, because immediately as I said no, there was a part of me that said no, but a certain definition that I class is success in my eyes. But again, if this is really authentic in what I believe, in my eyes, success is always a decade away.
Okay.
So it's who I want to be 5 to 10, I'll say a decade, 5 to 10 years away.
Yeah.
And it's ever moving.
Okay.
So
is it ever obtainable?
It is, but by that time I've already refreshed what success means to me. Okay. Because I don't want to be successful in the sense I don't want to attain that and be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because that scares me the most.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I've been there in certain situations in my life where I've completed, I don't know, worked hard for my A-level exams or something, and it was done, and it left me a bit like, okay, now what? What's my next purpose?
Yeah, man.
Because I hadn't, although yes, university and whatever, I quite hadn't planned what my next goal was, and that's a bit scary. Now it's fine, you move on, but certainly in this life, like personal goals, work aspirations, and so on, I want to keep that within the distance so that I know certain goal and certain plan that I'm going for. Yeah.
Okay. Is it strictly 5 years, or is that you're just talking loose time frames here?
Loose time frame. So, for example, right now, if you would say, what does success look like?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah, it's where I feel I'm going to head in the next 5 years. So to put it in context, would 5 years ago, Ash, the guy who came in, was working on this business and so on, would he be proud of where I am today? I'd like to think so.
Okay,
I'd like to think he's extremely proud. But unfortunately for him, I've already set my goals now to look forward into the future. I'm no longer looking back. It's important to make sure you're appreciative of how far you've come.
Yeah.
But eyes are on the next prize.
What's the next prize then?
It varies. So personal goals, where I want to be. I mean, a lot of them are very generic in the sense, I'd like to travel more. Mm-hmm. I feel straight out of... I've never really taken the time out, and this is all my own fault, I guess, or my own thing. There's nothing to blame.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No one to blame. It's more that I just didn't travel enough, or I felt I didn't. On the same token, I'm still blessed to have seen many places in the world, but straight out of uni, I went to India for a few weeks, got a bit of a traveling time there. I was doing some social work, enterprise work there and so on. So I really enjoyed it. And then boom, straight back here the day after graduation and start to work on the business. And I have no regrets.
You're right.
No, I go back and I needed that discipline to get involved because remember when I was coming into the business, there wasn't really much to do or much going on. So I needed to really give it as much focus as I could.
Okay. Let's rewind to 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
You said if 5 years ago Ash met today Ash, he'd hopefully be proud of himself.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that 5 years ago you were gunning for that you felt like you achieved?
Good question.
It doesn't have to be specific stuff.
So if I were to look at what I'd be most proud of, right? If I just to take that a little bit, it's stickability. So the fact that I've been able to hone in on the business and focus for as long as it's been. What is it? Coming into the six years. Since 6 years since I graduated, going into the seventh, and it's the fact that the business has changed a lot, things have changed and adapted, but it's that perseverance that I think he'd be really proud of. I surprised myself because I've never really had to have that test until this moment, because it's always been school, uni, that you've been changing naturally in life. Whereas this was I just need to focus and give it my all. So that's definitely one. Yeah.
So let's just call that the business and your accomplishments within the business. You made a really good point there that almost in school you outsource your accountability in a weird way. You go in, they tell you what to do. They tell you, they guide you through life.
You sleepwalk a little bit through.
Sleepwalk, absolutely. And over the last 5 years, you felt like, you didn't have that, maybe. And you're proud of the fact that you, regardless of that, you still persevered, right?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, a huge part of it is I've thoroughly enjoyed doing what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the reason, but that's a huge part of basically doing it. And because I've been in control rather than having that sleepwalking attitude, if I wasn't enjoying something, it was up to me to change it. Yes, it wouldn't change immediately, but I could do, the power is in my hands. I think a huge part was I've started to enjoy the taste of my own blood. So in business, as you know, we've gone through so many challenges, and it's got more and more each time. All the stakes have got higher each time.
Yeah.
Right. Each time we face something. So compared to 6 years ago when I joined the business and something went wrong, I shipped the wrong parcel to the wrong person. It cost me £40 because of the product price. I remember I couldn't sleep that night. Right? that was one of the first few days of our process. And we still get things that hurt me just as much, but the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
But something within me, I don't know what it is, in a voice or whatever, as they say, something tells me like that everything's going to sort itself out. And I love that feeling when it does seem to resolve itself.
Yeah.
And I feel more resilient next time. So I don't know, as a whole, I've stuck around because I feel like I've grown so much more through this whole process. Yeah.
Okay. If I was to translate that, tell me if I'm translating this right. if we take it out, it's no longer about the business anymore. Then it's about self-development, and the business you feel like is a very appropriate tool.
Yeah.
To develop
like
yourselves. A vehicle, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other vehicles that you do that with?
Absolutely,
you went to Toastmasters?
Toastmasters. I'd say consistency is the gym. So my health, again, yes, played sports, did stuff, uni, all of that happened. My diet wasn't great at university and so on. Yeah. And I felt leaving that, I had a goal. Like, you leave, you're like, I'm going to sort my diet out. I'm going to go to the gym regularly without fail. And I have loved the feeling that I made a few calls to myself, and I've been able to keep that consistent throughout the period. Yes, I've probably had odd week, couple of weeks off or something in between the 6 years. But overall, it's been very consistent, and I love that feeling of the fact that I said I was going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I left that whole thought behind, and I just carried on and pursued that. So yeah, gym's definitely one, and I think that's taught me discipline for the business, so my other vehicle, and also just generally in life. I think a huge part again is friendships and development as well, because when you're at university, when you're at school, your friends are there. Again, you sleepwalk. You're told you must hang out, or not. You're not told, but society kind of, your peer, everyone hangs out and does stuff. Uni, people are around. Yes, you have to make an effort, but it's not that much effort because people are there and you'll find your people. Whereas when you're back at, I moved back home and so on, my friends were in London, everyone was everywhere. It's really up to you again. Yeah. Do you make the effort? Do you keep the connection, or do you not? Yes, we have tools. Yeah, we have social media and whatever. But yeah, it's been quite, if I say it's been a lot of growing for me, which I probably needed at the age of 21. Yeah.
I was actually going to dive into that, but before I do, I apologize. I said there's some sledgehammer of questions, and then as we started this podcast, I said there's no sledgehammer. Here's the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Are you connecting the dots retrospectively, or with these active decisions along the way? Are you looking back now, almost romanticizing it in your head, like I've told you I've done, where you're like, well, I felt like I needed this, so I did that. I needed to improve my health, so I started going to the gym.
Yeah.
Or do you think that it's just the natural chaos of the world that kind of the winds blew you in that direction, and now you're looking back? Do you genuinely believe these have been active decisions?
I think they've been active decisions.
Good, okay.
Because I've seen a life where I didn't make those active decisions, and it didn't quite blow me in the way the wind didn't blow me the way I wanted to go. I definitely think so. I 100%. I look back and I'm like, we look at the business. How did you get into selling pharmaceuticals as a consultancy company in 2022, working with some of the leading brands? How did we get here? I don't know. But you look, obviously retrospectively, you're looking back, you're connecting all the dots, you're connecting everything that goes in between. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But if I look back at the time in 2016 and now, it was small habits and intentions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would look at some of the projects that we work on, and it was an intention to learn about something that was important before we started getting involved. There's been many things where it's like, I was discussing a project with you a little while ago, quite a while ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, on brand registry. Remember, I was discussing it, and it was just learning about it as a hobby, as an intention, which would then lead to something bigger. And that's very work focused. But if we go to the gym side, yes, it was 100%. It wasn't I need to go to the gym. It was I need to be consistent with the gym to see the results I want to see, and that is intention. Because there's no way you can sleepwalk to the gym. No. Regularly, as much as you can. And I'm actively trying to make it good intentions now, in the sense of, okay, if I want to be where I want to be by 2026 or 2027, what do I need to do now?
Where are the goals again?
To get there. And it's not setting some fixed goal of where I want to be by 2027, because I think that sets you up for disappointment in some cases. But it's saying, okay, there is a rough guide here. Yeah. And I'm going to start focusing on the little things today. Yeah. So sorry, just to finish on that.
Please, yeah.
A huge part of something you taught me a little while ago, or you guided me on, was cooking, right?
Yeah, I'm going to get into that, don't worry.
Yeah. No, so you mentioned cooking to me as a thing, and I, by default, do not cook. I love food. I enjoy cooking, but I do not cook. Can I tell you why? Because I'm lazy. I'm lazy to get things from the grocery store. I'm lazy to take my time to do it, and I'll take the shortcut when it comes to cooking. Mm-hmm. But recently, the other day, I was with my partner at home, and we were running late. I said, we'll just... she mentioned, actually, that we'll have oven food, right? It's quick, it's easy. And I made the active decision to stop off at the supermarket, pick up what I wanted to, fresh, cooked it quicker than probably the oven pizza would have cooked itself. Yeah. And it was just an active decision. So that was kind of the kind of intention there.
Okay, you raised a few good points that I want to dive into. Let's start off with the default setting versus the active decision. Mm-hmm. If you look back, this is something I'm constantly battling with myself, and I'll that's why I'm telling you this, is that I think the default setting and the thing that I almost desire is the easy way out.
Yeah.
And I think it is a constant battle to either do the right thing or choose the harder option that is more rewarding later. And no matter where you look at who's talking in society or what's happening, everybody seems to agree that a large majority of people lean in that direction. More people take the elevator than walk up the stairs. More people, if you look at a supermarket car park, more people park closer to the door than, what is it, a 20-second difference?
Yeah.
So as human beings collectively, that's just what we do.
Yeah.
And all that's almost becomes like excusable in my mind. And I don't think I actively chose to move in this direction. And to like work hard and do stuff.
Yeah.
I think I was blown into it. I got a taste and I was like, I can't let this go. I need to do everything within my power to pursue it. Wow. And I'm trying to understand from you why it almost feels like to me, like your default is to do the work, to put in the graft.
Yeah, I would, I'd say probably today, I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
It's not always been that case. I think if there's something that I picked up very early on in my life, it was the understanding of the power of compounding and the compounding effect. So people generally don't see this till much later in their life or so on. So let's take compounding in the essence of investing or saving, right? I could save £1 today and then hold on to that £1 for the next year, and I'll have £1 plus a little bit of whatever the interest rate is.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. If I continuously invest £1 every single week over a period, and plus I'm getting the power of the interest I'm getting on that, in essence, what I'm able to see is after a year or so exactly what I've been able to recoup and invest in. And I mean, there's that whole thing of if you get a penny and you keep doubling it, how many times does it take to get to £1 million?
Oh yeah, it's like less than a month. Or something. Yeah,
it's incredible. So it's that kind of thought process there, and I've seen it. So I used to be a chubby kid. I've mentioned this on our podcast before. Yeah. I saw the power of me reducing my portions.
Yeah.
And exercising and growing, but there was a fair amount of exercising considering I was a kid, and reducing my meal sizes. Yeah. And I saw that effect happen to me at a young age. And I was like, damn, all right, this can actually happen. You put in a bit of work and you get to see your results. Yeah. I saw it with my grades at school. I suffered in a few subjects when I was in year 3 and 4. I started to actually just put some effort in and actually focus, get myself out of that whole sleepwalking mentality. Yeah. And suddenly I was on to good grades, getting congrats from my parents, because you don't appreciate grades. It's mainly at that time, it's mainly what people say about your grades, right? Yeah. And that was enough. I was like, all right, I can put in a bit of work. Yeah. And I'm suddenly seeing more than my average expectation. So you suddenly take that into your arms and you're like, well, okay, there are some things out of my control, but the majority, if I put a little bit more effort in or put in more than the category growth or the average growth that people put in, I'm going to see some results eventually. Probably not tomorrow. If I go to the gym tonight and you don't go to the gym tonight, we're going to look the same tomorrow. But over a year, I'm going to start seeing the effects. And I think that's why, in a less comparative way, but it's more just I like seeing the results over a period of time.
That is one of the most eloquent descriptions of being rewarded later down the line. Compounding like that. Yeah, that was beautiful. That's it's I think something that James Clear wrote about in Atomic Habits. Jamie, who's been on the podcast, recommended that book to me. And yeah, so if you're 1% better a day, you're 37 times better a person. What is that in percentages? Is that 307? That's
you're 37 times better?
Yeah, better off.
Yeah, right.
So if you improve your running by 1% every single day, you're better by 37 times by the end of the year.
Incredible.
Which is just crazy and kind of depicts what you were just saying. As beautiful as that was, I'm coming out with all
another sledgehammer.
Another sledgehammer. You said that you don't necessarily care about the results. It's the impact of the results. It's showing your parents and making them happy and stuff like that. Am I right there?
No, I think that was much when I was younger.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that was a healthy way when you're younger, by the way, because there was a lot that I used to do to impress other people.
Yeah.
And I thought I was getting away with it as long as I got the results as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me make sure I get the grades and I'll make other people happy, which will make me work hard, and by default, I'll do well.
Yeah.
But it was never me doing well as the priority, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was impressing other people so that then I would do well by default. So that was all the way through to uni, what uni I chose, where I went, the people I was, whatever I was doing seemed to be like that. But it's some way filtered out as I started to see the negative effects of that. Because when you start only doing what other people deem as good and positive, that doesn't necessarily give you the ultimate impact that's the best thing for you.
Yeah.
You start choosing a degree that other people like. By the way, I really enjoyed my degree, so I didn't mean in that way, but you start looking at jobs that other people would say, oh, good work. Yeah, you're working at somewhere that's got a good name.
JP Morgan.
Right. Yeah, just bringing out the big names.
Yeah.
And I was actively looking at jobs when I was at university or internships and so on that would impress other people, not me. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a single fire inside of me that was burning other than the fact that I was making other people proud.
Yeah.
So somewhere in that period, I think it had been happening for a little while, I started to realize that wasn't healthy and it was leading me down the wrong path. Yeah.
What would you say are some of the primary things that were directing your decision up until that point that you changed? Would you say it's ego, status? What was directing your decisions there?
Likability, status. Yeah. I thought, I don't know, maybe it was just always, maybe it was ego.
Yeah.
It was that, Ash is the man. Yeah, he's the guy that works at this place, or he gets the grades. He seems to have a very balanced, full round life. It looked great on paper, and that to me at the time was all that mattered.
Yeah, but
right.
Yeah.
It's you're like, this is how I want to be. Everyone's going to be proud of me, and you start to realize that it's incredibly unhealthy. I mean, growing up, it's fine. You get on with it. To be honest, that's all you have.
It's almost good for you.
Yeah.
Getting good grades to impress your parents. You still got the good grades.
Right, yeah. In a period where otherwise you wouldn't do any work. Right?
Yeah.
You go out and just play or whatever. So, there's a healthy balance, but there's a period of development in your life where you need to realize that is not everything. Mm-hmm. Whilst your parents have the best intentions, they don't know you the way you know yourself. And they don't have the goals or ambitions that you have, right? They have their own ambitions, they have their own expectations and so on. So, like I said, I was going through that period, and it goes back to me liking the taste of my own blood. As soon as I started to make some things that I knew people wouldn't necessarily like, and I knew it would bring me longer term success. Probably in the moment, it looks like I don't have anything going. I'm a bit of a mess, but I know that I'm working for something bigger. I started to like that taste a little bit more, and I probably started to do things more to like almost spite people, which again is dangerous, but it was almost like, you're telling me this is the right way, I'm gonna check out a few other options and see what works for me.
So everybody said, "Oh, why are you going right? Everyone's going left," and you're like, "Watch me."
Well, I'll say, let me just see what's there. Yeah.
So you were guided by, in a loose manner of the term, ego. Then you were guided by, not spite of others, but the desire to explore other avenues. What would you say you're guided by now? Ooh. And sorry. To add to that, and this is going to help me because I'm dealing with something right now. How in control of the direction you head in do you feel?
Okay. This is a tough one, but I would say that having gone through that whole period that I just mentioned, and having seen that, remember it was all theory at that time, that I'm going to go left and it's going to work out better for me in the longer term, whatever better means, but it's going to be better for me in the longer term. I'm going to be in a stronger position where I feel more in control and so on. And I'm now in the fortunate position of having seen some of those results, not success, but I've seen the fruition of some things that have come together over the years in a short period of time. And I now have more belief in the words that I say and my reasoning for exploring things. So, to your question of what drives me now, I'm almost doubling down more on my inner voice. Whereas before it was just to kind of see what else was out there. Now it's like, what does Ash want to do next? Like, where do I want to go? Because I know that inner voice, if I listen to it, and we're getting very spiritual, but if I listen to that inner voice, it's going to take me somewhere good. Yeah. If I really believe in it, and I go, because that's the person you need to trust and believe more in. And I've seen what can happen when you do. Yeah.
I'm just wondering now. I'm reevaluating everything in my life. Thank you for that. Okay. Did you listen to your ego and then to spite people? Did those things take direction because you didn't trust your gut yet?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah? Yeah, I didn't even know I had an inner voice. If it was ever there, I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's helped me so much in things like it helped me just now when I went to make a coffee and I have this mochaccino, this really poor coffee according to Sam. Yeah. It is really poor, but I'm not a fan. I don't know, I've got a weird craving for it. Anyway, I was looking at the sugar content and not too much sugar, but I was desperate for a coffee. I said, you know what? It was, again, it sounds silly, but it was that thing of, Nash, you went to the gym last night. Like, what are you doing there? And I'm starting to listen to that more because I just believe in it more. That, they know what's best, like, rather than the day-to-day cruise control Ash. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. There is so much down that avenue, rabbit hole, black hole, whatever you want to call it, that I do want to dive into. But there's one question that's been burning inside of me that I've wanted to ask. So as we're coming up towards the end of the episode, I'd say we've got about 10 minutes left. As we're coming up to the end, I'm just going to go in for the burning question. And this is completely different from the direction we went in, which is, do you feel like you're able to express yourself to the fullest extent? Your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, your pursuits.
Interesting.
It's another one of those sledgehammers I had in my back pocket.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I've gone through various periods. I wouldn't say it's always been growing towards expressing myself more. Mm-hmm. But again, I've seen periods where I've been able to be more authentic than I once was. And going back, remember our conversation, has made me a lot more interesting and a lot more authentic. I'd say I've definitely got to a period in my life where I seem to be refraining from being my full self again.
Recently?
Yeah, I'd say the last few years.
Okay.
No one to blame, nothing to blame, just circumstance. The business could have something to do with it. Perhaps in a way, leading this business, I feel that there's a certain sense of responsibility and level-headedness that means I need to suppress certain aspects of that.
Yeah.
Nothing too out there, but just certain areas where I'm almost suppressing it for the betterment of what I feel the business or what we're doing. Yeah. Those that are close to me, I feel I can express myself as to the maximum, in some cases, but there are areas that I still feel like I'm missing. Still feel like I'm missing expressing fully. That's probably because I don't quite understand them myself. Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry.
And do you feel like you have a sufficient amount of outlets to express yourself? I'm forever envious of musicians, artists, and by that I mean painters, people who get to put a piece of themselves in something external, not just in here, like on a piece of work, on a piece of something. And I don't know if I have that. I don't know if I'm leaving a piece of myself in anything. Do you feel like you do?
Yeah, I feel that's lacking.
Yeah.
I'll be the reason why, because I could have easily said that. Yeah, I feel like I'm full and I'm whole and I'm expressing exactly who I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not about what you feel. It's about, do you think that you're letting it out?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter, as you know, and I see tweets from people that I 100% believe in. They're controversial. I 100% believe in, and I think to myself, why do I not have the guts to say what they've said? It's nothing illegal. It's not hate speech. It's not nothing. It's controversial, and that's something that I'm working on as to why I'm not able to express that. Am I scared of what other people think? Possibly. It's one of the reasons I actually got rid of a lot of people that I know off Twitter because I was struggling to be who I wanted to be. I changed my name a little bit on Twitter so that you can't really find, it's one of those
really
things.
Hard to find on Twitter.
Yeah, it's just one of those things because I was working with myself to start being able to express it. I don't know if that's a good thing to find such a niche outlet to let everything, let what my thoughts are out. But I definitely find it's crazy, but Twitter's probably one of the few places where I see authenticity. Yeah, I think that's it, and it's one of the things that I value the most there, because you're speaking to people who are just saying it how it is, without the worry of repercussion in a healthy way. And yeah, that's probably one of the reasons they're trying to maintain free speech and so on on Twitter. Yeah. How about yourself?
Hold on to that thought, because I would like to speak about this for quite a while. But I felt like I was able to do it through video work. Like, I'm about to ask you, I'm about to slam down the final sledgehammer.
Okay.
But for me, one of my answers to the question I'm about to ask you is, no, I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to say it yet, because it's something that I feel like I would love your take on and I'd love to discuss with you. My final sledgehammer, if you're ready for it.
Okay.
And I don't care if you're ready for it. It's coming anyway. What unanswered questions do you still have? You can be as vague or as specific. What unanswered questions do you still have about life?
Yeah, it's a crazy one, because I'm very much as I try and pretend that I don't think too deeply or so on. I'll be driving to work and I'm like, well, why are we doing this? Like, does anyone really care? Like, we're just moving around. Look at us with our little fancy machines in this world, and we're taking this podcast seriously. Like, none of us are going to be here in a little while. Yeah. Like, humans aren't going to be around. Like, it's people go, that's depressing, but it's just the honest, brutal truth.
Yeah.
Like, so why do we do what we do? And I don't know, it's not unanswered, but that is there. But I give myself an answer of, well, the other option is to do nothing.
Yeah.
And if we have the resource and everything at our disposal, let's have some fun with it, and let's do what we do. But yeah, it's very unanswered in the sense like we were just put here, told what to do by other people that were just put here as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I struggle with that.
So meaning of life, pretty much.
Yeah, meaning of life. I feel there are too many chains in society. Mm-hmm. That are holding people back. Like, I'm not saying we're living in China, where people may arguably say that things are much more restricted.
Yeah.
But I do feel we have like invisible chains here where, no, you must not say that. You must live within this. You must do this. I struggle with that because I feel that the people are less creative now, and I'm not sure why. Sorry, that doesn't answer your unanswered question, but it's curious.
No, it does.
It's curiosity to me.
Yeah,
it's a really tough question.
It is.
Yeah,
because I've been thinking a lot about what drives me, hence why I'm asking you. I'm trying to find some inspiration about like, is it ego? And I realize a lot of my past decisions have been driven by ego, the pursuit of status. That's why those were my examples. Mm. I'm wondering what my outlets are for expressing myself. Maybe it's this podcast. Maybe it's whatever. It's certainly not the way I dress. It's certainly not like the things I do. But one of my deepest desires is I would love to see something that I created through another's eyes. Mm. That's not like egotistical. It's just so I can see if I was able to portray the emotion I was trying to extract out of people. Mm. I'd love to know beautiful. That. Yeah. I would absolutely love to know that. But funnily enough, when I thought of that question, what are some unanswered questions that you still have? I immediately went that existential. I immediately went like, why are we here? Like, why are we in this building? Why are you here, Ram? Why are you, you know?
And going back to my thing of like, well, the other option is nothing, right?
Yeah.
The other option is, and when I mean nothing, like, why do we do what we do versus why don't we just sit at home or sit on our bed? And I think if you weren't able to see the results of your labor and the impact that you're making, then you would start to feel that home is the better option.
Yeah.
Sitting all day, every day, doing
You
nothing.
don't always. You've got to wait for the compounding effect to come in.
Yes. But you do see the minor wins, the small little wins. See, we often, when we say, are you successful, think, do you have £1 million in your bank account? Yeah. Do you have this in your bank? Do you have a nice car? Do you have this? Certain personal goals that people may have. And I think people forget to understand and appreciate even the smallest of wins. I had an email last night from a client of ours and a sales director within that company that I forwarded to you that we've not spoken to in a few years, but we've been working for the team and so on. And there was a small comment in there. Yeah, there was a referral and there was a small comment at the end, and he replied back to me afterwards as a small line saying, thank you for the hard work that you're doing. Mm-hmm. And there are people that just say that just to say that. Mm-hmm. And there is genuine like, thank you.
Yeah.
And honestly, it left me beaming the whole evening that I was like, wow, our work went noticed.
Yeah.
And we made a bit of impact. So that was a little win that I think other people would feel good in the moment and then brush off.
Yeah.
But it shows me that our compounding is working.
Yeah.
And we're getting there. But yeah.
I'll leave you with two thoughts. I know I'm supposed to be asking the questions, but to pick up the mood. Is two different quotes from two different podcasts. One's the Diary of a CEO with Jimmy Carr, where he's talking about essentially the meaning of life to him is just the passage of time. Like time's just going to move on, so you might as well enjoy it. That email should make you smile, and every tiny little wonderful contributions, tiny or huge, little contribution should be awesome.
Sure.
And there's one where it's Andrew Schultz's podcast, Flagrant, with Russell Brand.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that actually kind of just, I don't think it answered the big unanswered question for me, but it just said like, just put it on pause for a while. You don't need to worry about it for now. Where he said it in a very convoluted way. I don't think Russell Brand's brain is reacting well to not doing drugs, but the way that he said something about the lack of meaning is meaning in of itself. So it is like the pursuit of meaning is the actual meaning.
Wow.
So
it's so deep, but it needs unpacking.
It does need unpacking, but it's enough to satisfy that craving of like, why do we turn up for work? Why is Ram here? Why are you here? Why am I here? Because we're trying to figure out why the fuck we're here.
Yeah.
That's why. It's just a random smattering of tiny little tests. We turn up to work every day. We pay our bills. We do all of this stuff. I think the sad thing, not the fact that we're questioning it, the sad thing is when you stop looking for the why.
Yeah.
But the constant pursuit, the constant like digging, chipping away, trying to find, look left, right.
That's the meaning itself.
That's the meaning itself. That's it.
It's really...
The alternative is sitting at home doing nothing, not looking at that. You said that very beautifully.
And you're going to be further away from finding meaning.
Exactly. You've given up on the search, but the fact that you're still coming in, the fact that we're searching, the fact that Ram's probably only just zoned back in because it's home time now, it means that we're still here. We're still searching. We're still trying to find some level of purpose, I suppose. And that put my mind at ease.
Yeah.
I'm back to happiness now.
I needed that. That was a beautiful end.
Nice little pick me up.
Yeah, nice pick me up. We no longer need to worry about anything.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it.
As you were.
Don't worry.
As you were.
Crack on.
Yeah. Carry on with your fancy equipment, whatever.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
We're using it to find out. Just like you're using this place your business as a fantastic vehicle to develop yourself. Use life as a vehicle to find meaning. I just came up with that right then and there. I'm like Jeff Goldblum.
Honestly, that was absolutely beautiful. Let's get a quote at the end of this, just written out over the video. But beautiful.
Thank you for letting me peel you back layer by layer. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I did enjoy that.
I was slightly worried that we got a bit existential towards the end there. We picked it back up. That
sounded like I saw one where Joe Rogan was asking Elon Musk about the meaning of life, and that got deep.
Yeah?
Yeah, like you could see, I think...
I need to watch that.
Elon Musk was having like a big time with himself, like, what am I doing? Like, where?
You think he has time to look at, like, to question that?
Yeah, I think that's what makes him do gets him to do what he does, because he makes huge ambitious goals, right?
Yeah,
like he sets huge ambitious goals, and I think part of him analyzing how short time is and how important our lives actually are and valuable, and we don't understand that, gets him to make ambitious goals. And I was thinking about that the other day. Sorry to take this on, but I was thinking about, like, I just woke up and in my head, if I say how many years ahead do you have, in my head I'm like, I've got about 80, 90 years. It's like, boy, we're already 27 years into our life. Like, that's already cut a huge chunk of it out.
You could get hit by a bus tomorrow.
You could. That hadn't crossed my mind yet, and now that has. But it's like, boy, we better get a move on.
We better get a move on here. Yeah. Is that why you've been like mad productive and like really organized lately?
Maybe.
I don't know have you noticed this, Ram? The last week, I don't know how noticeable it is. Ash has just been on one.
I think there's also the fact that I've got other stuff going on that means that, and it's always been the case that, you know, when you're busier, you're more organized, or you can be.
100%, yeah.
I think that's what life's got to, where I'm like, I need to either do this or it won't get done.
I just told Harvey I need to snap the hell out of thinking I'm too busy to do stuff. I've had like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of not being insanely busy, whereas I came out of a phase of being insanely busy. Like a good 2 to 3 month chunk of just constantly on the road, just like mad busy.
Yeah.
And I've been putting off 2 really simple tasks, and I finally just did them because I was just like, no, snap out of it. You're not that busy anymore.
Yeah.
Like, crack on with it.
Yeah. You know, when you look at those tasks as well, you're just like, oh, so easy.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
I banged out both in 3 hours.
Yeah.
In my head, they were like all day tasks.
It's and that thing that was like in your head.
Yeah. It clouded my judgment. It bugged me for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I did it in 3 hours.
And how good would all of your other work have been?
Oh my God. Infinite amounts. Lesson very much learned, I hope. Who knows?
No, I'm there. But you go through your peaks and your... Like, I go through all the time. But no, definitely just... I'm like, we gotta do stuff, man. We gotta move quicker.
Let this be a warning to you.
Yeah.
Like that, you're gonna be 27.
Yeah. Honestly, like that.
Genuinely.
It's
like, I don't think you appreciate how easily we remember what it was like to be 18.
Yeah. You see how young you are right now? You're already older than that now. Like, literally, you blink, you're older. Like, you can never be as young as you were 5 seconds ago.
That's some fortune cookie stuff right there. You can never be as young as you were right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Holy crap.
19's cooler than 18, though.
Yeah, 19's pretty
It's like,
dope.
yeah, I'm young, but I'm not fresh.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck, man. Good luck, man. Spend the next 9 years wisely. You'll listen to Ash, compounding. Right? What little habit changes can you make now? Start going to the fucking gym.
Yeah. Do it earlier than me. You'll see bigger results.
Start going to the gym.
Results. Yeah.
Ram's like, shut up. I want to go home. It's 10 minutes past my home time. Let's wrap this up and let the poor guy go home.
All right. Thanks. So episode 44. Bam. Episode 44. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed what you saw, if you enjoyed what you listened to, thanks to Sam for asking those questions. Be sure to subscribe and like, comment, tell us what you think. If you got any questions for me or you got any questions for Sam, put them in. When we get back to this, we'll be sure to answer them. What is the meaning of life?